Hey everybody, today I have an exciting video for you. In this video, I'm going to share all of the manifestation secrets that you'll ever want to know. And believe it or not, it's quite simple. This has been going on since forever. This is the way that creation works. But I bet you that only about 5% of you will stay to the very end of this video, and only about 1% of you will actually implement any of these things. But all of these secrets in here are quite simple. In this video, you're going to learn how to actually practice magic. But you see, magic has always been occurring around you this whole time. You've actually been manifesting your whole entire life. And this is nothing new. It can be found in ancient religions, and this is how creation works. So if we look at things like the Bible, we can look at a verse like Mark 11:24, and we can see in the verse it says, "Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours." So what this verse is telling us is to really act as if, believe that we have whatever it is that we want to manifest now. So what you're seeing in the background here in this video is a piece of land that we've recently acquired. My husband and I are pretty big manifestors. He manifests this piece of land in his own way, and I manifest it in my own way. But we use the same principles that we're going to be talking here throughout. So one of the first things it is to act as if. Act as if you are already in that piece of land, let's say, or that you already have whatever it is that you're wanting to manifest. It's like putting on a costume for a play. When you put on the costume, you start to feel like you are that character. You start to embody the emotions and the attitudes, and you step into that future self, which helps you to really align with that manifestation. So the first thing to do is to act as if. So when we began to look for pieces of land, my husband had a way of manifesting this piece of land on his own, remembering back to his childhood and the beautiful memories he had with his family camping. And he wanted to recreate that now with new memories. And so he began to plan these things by drawing out different plans on paper, looking at all the different examples of pieces of land and campsites that he would like to have. So visualizing really what it would be like to be on this piece of land. Now for myself, it started about a year ago when I began to really want to have a retreat center where I could have a natural setting and share it with others in a teaching setting as well. This is something I really wanted to bring to School of Scarlet. And so I began to really also imagine what those retreats would be like. And my husband and I would sit around and talk about what it would be like, how and what kind of courses we would offer, who would be there, the places and things that we would show them, the different natural activities that we would do, how many people would be there. We imagined it as if it were really happening. And so that's how we talk to each other and how we manifest things. It's really acting as if that you already have it. You plan and act as if. So that's the first thing. Now, many years ago when the book The Secret really did come out, it was the first time that I was introduced to something like manifestation. Although it has been going on, like I say, forever. This is the way that creation comes into existence. But through this video and this book, I learned about vision boards. And it's something that I still use to this day, and I encourage you to use vision boards if you can. Vision boards is something that I used a lot in therapy as well with clients. It's a way for them to really look into the future and create the reality that they want for themselves. A vision board is like a treasure map. It guides you towards the treasures of your dreams. It constantly reminds you of where you want to go and where you're heading towards. So a vision board is essentially just like a poster board or a big sheet of paper where you cut out different pictures and things from magazines, or you can print things off the internet that you want to have in your reality. I began doing this years ago when The Secret came out. And when I started doing this, I started to notice that everything on that board became my reality. You can put anything on there like cars, houses, what you want your house to look like, if you want children, your pets, whatever you want, whatever your heart's desire, trips. And I began to see that all of these things were becoming real and coming true. So there's times that I stopped using vision boards and things would kind of slow down for me. So I've really encouraged people to continue to use vision boards. I know that we don't see very many magazines anymore to cut out from, but even things like keeping a Pinterest board is useful. But the act of actually taking your focus and cutting out pictures from an actual magazine, or taking the intention of going onto your computer, looking these things up, printing them, cutting them out and pasting them onto a board, makes it even more real and creates a faster acceleration for your manifestation. So I encourage you today to take up a vision board and begin manifesting the life of your dreams through those visuals. And this will be a visual that you can put somewhere where you are going to constantly see it. The first place that I put my vision board was right in front of my treadmill. So I'd walk on my treadmill, and as I was exercising, I would look at my vision board and I would see everything on there. Every time I exercised, I would get to see that. But you want to place your vision board somewhere it is going to be seen. In your kitchen, on your refrigerator, somewhere where the whole family sees it. This is something I also do with my daughter. I've taught her to do vision boards and also affirmation boards to keep her mind on those things that are good, those things that she wants to manifest. The other thing that you can do is pretend play. It's literally just like being a child. It helps you to explore possibilities and develop a mindset of achieving your dreams. It's kind of like playing house as a child. I can remember as a child, I had so many different things that I would play. I would play in the kitchen. I would mimic adult behaviors by just kind of like cooking, and then I would like my dad to film me on camera, and it was just a lot of different things that I would do. I would pick different characters on TV and completely embody them, dress like those characters, begin to speak like them. I was even so serious as a child that I wanted my parents to actually call me that character's name. I totally got into it in a total way. And so I learned this very early on of how to really embody and pretend and play and have the mindset that you need to create the reality. This happens early on in childhood, but if you didn't have that pretend play, you can certainly develop it later in your life. Now, I would recommend you to start with some small manifestations. Of course, maybe you want to manifest a Ferrari, or, some magical vacation somewhere, or, the partner of your dreams. But that is all good and well. But in the beginning, we need to start with some small achievable goals to build our confidence and our abilities in manifesting. So think about it like planting a seed in the garden. You have to start small with that seed, and then it grows into a beautiful plant. And later, maybe it grows into a big tree, and then it produces fruit. So start small by manifesting things that are more achievable in your life, things like a parking space that you want to have, or maybe you want to, manifest a beautiful dress, or whatever it happens to be for you. As you begin to manifest these small things, you'll have more and more trust and confidence in your manifesting abilities. Now, something really important to keep in mind is that sometimes what is blocking our manifestation is just ourselves. See, we are actually the creators of our own reality. We have the power to manifest or to block ourselves. Now, how is it that sometimes we block ourselves? Well, it's a negative self-talk. Negative self-talk can be a major barrier in manifesting your dreams. It can literally stop you from manifesting things because you're not in alignment with those things that you want. So negative self-talk is essentially like a cloud blocking the sun. So by clearing that cloud away, you can let your inner light shine through, and it allows for more potential to emerge and more power for that manifestation. So it's important to really keep a mindset of positivity. And as we begin to manifest those things, let's say that we want to manifest a house of our dreams, but we go into our house that we currently live in and we're saying to ourselves, this house is so ugly, it's no good, I don't like it, I shouldn't live here, then we're not in alignment with manifesting that house of our dreams. We have to act as if we already have that house. We have to walk into the house that we do have and take care of it and make it look nice and really feel as if we already have whatever it is that we want. So it's important to keep that mindset. Sometimes if you have, let's say, a partner, a spouse, or even a good friend or something that knows you and can really guide you a little bit, it can be helpful to have external support in recognizing self-talk. So if someone outside of yourself, let's say like a friend, identifies that you're talking negatively to yourself, you're saying, I'm no good, I can't achieve my goals, I can't do this, they can point this out to you. And it really is like a lighthouse guiding you through the foggy waters. The friend or your partner can guide you back to your positivity, to who you truly are. You see, all this negative self-talk is not really who you are. It's just some kind of role that you get into after a while. It's kind of like a loop of negativity, but you can easily get yourself out of that. So it's important to recognize when you're in that loop and get out of that. The other thing about working with other people or having a supportive partner is that you can manifest together. If you manifest with a partner like I do with my husband, it can amplify your manifestation efforts and create a really supportive environment. You see, when I can talk to my husband about the things that I manifest and the things that I would like to manifest, and we can have conversations and dream and imagine together when we talk, and he can do the same with me, then we can really amplify each other's energy. It really, really helps a lot. So think about like two musicians creating harmony. When you and your partner align those energies and intentions, you create this beautiful music, this beautiful symphony of shared dreams, and it just amplifies into the air, into the arrows. So I wanted to kind of bring something to your attention. Many kids use this kind of word, abracadabra. Do you remember abracadabra? You see, really, we're very magical creatures, and what we're doing is we're creating and speaking things into existence. So the term abracadabra is actually interpreted as I create as I speak. So the power of words and manifestation is very powerful, and that's why we have to watch our negative self-talk. The words that we are putting out into this world are essentially like spells. So the word spelling comes and originates from the word spell, because as you write things, as you say things, as you put words into reality, they create spells. That's how powerful you are. Your words are like magic spells. When you speak your desires, you're casting a powerful incantation that brings your dreams closer to reality. So I want you to think about all of this. There's just so much to take in, but truly these are all of the steps that you need to manifest the life of your dreams. And so just as if you can manifest things that are very beautiful, you can also manifest things that you don't want by using negative self-talk, by aligning yourself and acting as if your life is horrible. So it's important to really see those beautiful things in your life, to be grateful. Keeping a gratitude journal is also very helpful because it keeps you out of that self-talk loop. It keeps you more in gratitude. There is so much to be grateful for all around us. There's just so much beauty everywhere we look. So as you're watching this video and you're seeing this beautiful piece of land, you can see from the very beginning, it started off as really just kind of this really wooded piece of land. You couldn't even see that there was waterfront property or that there was waterfront at the other end. This property really wasn't very desirable. No one had really put an offer in on this property. It had been up for sale for years, and no one could really see the beauty of what this could become. But you see, when you're a manifester, it doesn't matter what is in front of you. You can transform anything, any ugly piece of land, any ugly house, any situation that you may think is no good. You can transform it because you are magic. That is the power that you have. All that you need to do is imagine what you want to be there. Most people that saw this piece of land could never imagine what it could be. But as we began to simply clear this piece of land, how you've watched throughout this video, it began to take shape. It began to really align to those dreams that my husband and I had. We had everything there now. We have everything that we ever dreamed of. from this piece of land that most people would have thrown away. And so this piece of land has now become a refuge, a place of peace, a place that we have really dreamed of having. And it's perfect for the retreats that I want to do in the future. Everything that we have talked about when we went one day to go camping, this was during the video filming of this video, my husband and I went swimming. And after a little bit of swimming, we sat across, each other and started talking. And we began to affirm everything that we had dreamed of, how it has now come into fruition. And we began to affirm even those things that will happen with the retreats. The place that we chose not only is a beautiful piece of land, it offers many other lakes, many other opportunities, swimming holes, beautiful places like that you can go and hang out at. There's many parks that are very accessible. There's lots of opportunities for nature walks and trails, and it's just endless. It's really exactly perfect for what I wanted and for what my husband wanted. And it all came to fruition just by our imagination, by our abilities to manifest together. So this has happened to me quite a bit of times before in my life, that I've manifested beautiful things that most people would have never thought could come from those things. I have a beautiful house, and I'll be sharing that with you on this channel at some point. That is the house of my dreams, and I manifested it really just out of my own imagination. It was the first house that I even went and looked at. Because I had been manifesting in my mind so much what I wanted to have, it was already the first choice. So this also happened in many other occasions. There's things that sometimes we get in life, we get situations handed to us where it really seems almost impossible. I really wanted to have a baby, and I really learned that I wasn't able to do that. After trying to conceive for almost a year, I learned that I had some infertility problems, and that my husband did as well. And that was kind of a shot to, my dreams in a way, but knowing my power, very early on as a child, I knew that this was not going to stop me. I knew that I was going to have a child, and I let all my options be open to me, whether that I was going to have a child through fertility treatments, I was going to have a child through adoption, but one way or another, I was going to have a child. So the other thing is, you can't really block yourself. If you see that reality is somehow putting, a barrier in front of you, don't really see it as an end all. It's never an end all. Everything can be transformed. Everything can be transformed. So as I began to align more to the truth that I would have a child, even if it were not my own, my body began to relax, and suddenly, within that month, I became pregnant. I've never really gotten pregnant again to have a second child, but I really got to manifest the one thing that I wanted. I wanted to have a daughter, and so that became my reality. And nothing was going to stop that. So I encourage you today that if you do see barriers in your life, if you do see things that are blocking you in some way and they seem almost impossible, don't let that be the case. Nothing is impossible on this earth. Nothing is impossible. So what you're seeing here is 2 bags of dirt, and this is another important thing that I'd like to share with you. It's not needed for manifestation, but in the background there you saw those 2 bags of dirt. Those 2 bags of dirt came from previous manifestations of my husband and I. One bag is filled with dirt from my house that I had previous to marrying my husband, and the other is filled with dirt from my husband's house that he manifested. We both manifested these homes with very little money, with very little resources, but they turned into magical, grand things that we often enjoy now. And so we put all of our love into these homes, into this land. So we went ahead and we gathered up that soil as an intention, as a focus to bring that soil together, him and I, to our new property. And what we did is we gridded the land. We took that soil and we spread it amongst that new piece of property that I'm showing you here. And that was very intentional. It's not that these things are, truly magical in themselves. It's the whole experience that you're creating in your mind of intention, of focus. So as we sprinkled all that throughout our land, in our own minds, as a symbol, we are coming together, and we are also gridding that land with all the beauty, all the love that we have poured into our own properties previous to even owning this one. It's like giving birth to something brand new. Then we brought our sparkling apple cider and we celebrated. It's important to celebrate your manifestations as they become reality. It's important to be grateful, to really truly celebrate and be grateful in our hearts in all kinds of ways, but to also symbolize that through acts of, real life gestures, like celebrating with a glass of champagne or a glass of apple cider, whatever it is that you choose. So today's video is really just that. There's not really much more to manifestation. There's many manifestation coaches out there, many manifestation experts, and I'm going to tell you that they're not going to tell you anything more than what I've told you in this video. Everything that you need to know to manifest anything, and I mean anything that you want in your life, is in this video. And it's not new. Like I say, this stuff like manifesting has been going on since forever. You have been manifesting your life. But what have you been manifesting? That is the question. Is it what you want? Is it what you need? Is it what you actually desire in your heart? Or are you just going through the motions of life, not very intentional, not really seeing what you want in your life? Now here we're coming to the end of the video where we actually got to camp for the first time on our property. You can see we've created a dock onto the land there. We have our little boat and we can go out to the bigger lakes through this property. It's a very secluded property, even though once you go out into the lakes, there's a lot more people and activity. Where we're at, it's very secluded and peaceful. It's exactly what we wanted. No one would have thought this would have been possible where we are at on this property. But through our manifestations, through our focus on truly what we wanted, it came true. So I want to encourage you today to, manifest and imagine anything it is that you want. Imagine it with your full heart. It doesn't matter if people say it can't happen, if you have your doubts. Allow yourself to imagine, to dream like a child does, to pretend, to act as if, to create things like vision boards and spend time, really trying to manifest the smallest things and seeing how this works. You see, you are a powerful manifester. You are magical. You are magical beyond belief. And maybe you don't realize that, but I hope that this video has shed some light as to who you are, what you can do, the power of imagination, and how manifestation really works. You can speak anything into existence through your, own mind and your own words. So be careful what you speak, as your words. Your words are very powerful. They're truly spells. And so what are you going to play? This life is truly just play. Every morning, wake up and realize that this is just an illusion and you're just here on earth to play a game. So what do you want to play today? What do you want to imagine? What kind of life do you want to live? Begin to create that life. Begin to live that life of your dreams. Before you know it, anything that you've imagined, that you've pretended, will now become your reality. And you'll wake up one morning and you'll have to really pinch yourself to know what's real and not. And you see, there's not any difference between what's real and not. So you just need to imagine and believe those things to be true. Believe the truth of who you are to be true. You are very powerful. You are worthy of anything and everything in your heart's desire. And I hope that you recognize the power that you hold within and that you run with it, that you begin to pretend and play just like I did as a child, and that you never forget that innocence within, because that's what's going to propel your manifestations. That's what's going to help you to reach those goals that you want to reach. Don't allow any negative self-talk or anything to get in your way. Again, those are just like clouds floating by. Just see them for what they are and let them pass. They don't mean anything about who you are. You create your reality. You decide who you are by your words and by your intentions and by who you are. So just to wrap up this video, we are just wrapping up here on our camping trip. We have caught our fish. We have done all of the things that we had imagined that we would do. We got to do them. So this is our reality, our manifestation coming into reality. We've caught our fish and now we're going to fry them up for our dinner. This is something that we always dreamed of, and I hope that one day I get to share this beautiful piece of land with you through our retreats, and that you get to also enjoy your own manifestations in your life. So, as we come to a close here, I want to congratulate you for making it to the very end. You must be one of the 5%. And don't forget, only about 1% of people will actually put these things into their own life. Now, go ahead and do this because it's not very hard. The steps that I've put into this video, as you can see, aren't that hard. So I have faith in you that you will manifest that life of your dreams, and it'll be just as beautiful as you dreamed. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all.